Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singapour.
My name is Alfripi and Today FM rocks here in Tabwa.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
In the news tonight, Education Minister raises serious concern on school curriculum. LTA investigates alleged bribe cases. And SEDELPA still has room for Moses Mbulitavu.
From the studios of FBC Suba, Jackie Spate.
Education Minister Aya Said Kayum has raised serious concerns on the type of curriculum we have in our schools. While speaking during the Fiji Head Teachers Association annual conference yesterday, Said Kayum says some of the syllabus being taught by teachers in schools are out of touch. Ali Kimbia with the story.
There is a lack of relevant subjects being taught in schools, and Education Minister Aya Said Kayum says this will need to be addressed in a very fundamental manner.
And we have been now talking to our development partners as to how we can actually improve that. To make not only the subjects relevant to the students of the 21st century Fiji, but also to make it easier for teachers to be able to teach those subject areas.
Said Kayum also highlighted that there's fear the ministry will face a shortage of science teachers.
As they say at the moment, with the current number of teachers disinterested in, for example, in the science areas, in physics, all of that, we'll soon run out of teachers in physics. We'll soon run out of teachers in maths.
While elaborating on the critical issues facing the education sector, the minister says a team has been set up to create a stocktake on all issues in various schools around the country.
So what we're trying to do is develop a system. And the only way you can do that is we do a stocktake of all the schools in Fiji, look at what are the requirements, where there are fundamental requirements, those schools must get addressed first.
Said Kayum says there are important issues within the education sector that are not addressed by people discussing educational reforms outside government. The minister also stated that the education system are for the betterment of the country and well within the government's effort to provide a more knowledgeable society. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
A few cases concerning driving schools and examiners accepting bribes from student drivers are currently being investigated by the Land Transport Authority. LTA Board Chair Vijay Maharaj adds that these corrupt practices, which had died down, have resurfaced again. Akusita Thale with more details.
Another contributing factor to the increase in lives lost on our roads has been brought up again, and this time the spotlight is on some driving school instructors and LTA examiners.
Some of which being investigated at the moment internally, that the driving person going for a driving test has been asked to pay a certain amount of money and the license will be guaranteed. And there are 2 or 3 cases that have come to us, and we are currently, as I say, investigating.
The cases that are under investigation are from the West and the Central divisions.
Either you are a driving examiner, I'm not pointing finger at this stage, or you from a driving instructor from a driving school, or you're a person intending to take a driving license or lessons, please be aware there is a crime to give money. And where they do ask for money, I think it's your duty to actually report that matter, either to FICAC or to Land Transport Authority or to the police.
We should not be colluded with driving examiners or anybody to give bribe. We should do our 20 hours of practical driving and 10 hours of theory classes.
The public has been advised to report any suspicious activity about briberies either being offered or accepted, so these offenders can be investigated and penalized. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
SEDELPA leader Sitiveni Rambuka has revealed there's still room for former parliamentarian and fellow party member Moses Mbulitavu to be a proposed candidate for the next general elections. Speaking to FBC News, Rambuka says according to the law he can still be a candidate as his conviction and sentence have been set aside. Rambuka says Mbulitavu is a free man and with his political experience he can apply to be one of the proposed candidates. Mbulitavu is currently on bail with his conviction and sentence for sedition set aside and is awaiting retrial.
we can assume that he is innocent, and anyone who is assumed innocent can apply for a candidacy in any other party.
There is still a shortage of certain skilled workers in Fiji. While opening the 2018 CPA Congress in Sigatoka, Acting Prime Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum says this is why they've introduced a number of initiatives in the 2018-2019 budget. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The Acting Prime Minister told participants of the CPA Congress that there is still a lot of work that needs to be done to ensure shortage of skilled workers in Fiji are addressed in future.
How many of you as parents, if you recognize a particular skill set of your child, would say, I think you'll make a good counsellor, why don't you pursue a career as a counsellor? I think very few parents, in fact probably nobody in Fiji would say that.
President of the CPA Fiji, Uday Sen, says they have been working to also ensure they provide job opportunities to university students.
As part of our commitment to support and inspire new entrepreneurs, from next year, CPA Fiji will allocate 10 minutes free time to a successful young entrepreneur to tell his or her success story at our annual congress.
The Acting Prime Minister also revealed that a pilot project will be rolled out soon that will allow Fijians to register the birth of their child through a mobile app.
Parents, in particular mothers, when you go to the hospital and you're actually given your birth document, for want of a better word, they'll have the mother's name. Now you'll get a unique number. You simply go to the mobile phone, download the app, and you'll get the application form, you fill in the details, of course.
The Congress also featured international guest speakers, which will end tomorrow. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Let's Talanoa Manda, setting the Pacific tone for the Talanoa Dialogue at the Global Climate Action Summit in San Francisco this morning. Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama urged world leaders to listen and act now. The Prime Minister told those present to implement the ideas that they have gathered during the dialogues on behalf of the 7.5 billion people who call this planet home. Rachel Nath has more.
The Prime Minister has raised concerns on the level of urgency regarding the current nationally determined contributors.
Friends, we must get the message out loud and clear that our current nationally determined contributions to reduce greenhouse gas emissions made under the Paris Agreement fall far short.
Those present also shared their experiences.
Ambition to make sure that we're fulfilling the goals of the Paris Agreement and that it is working the way it should.
The word Talanoa is about sharing your stories. It's about exchanging ideas. It's about forging relationships.
The Prime Minister urges now more than ever we must shift the current global debate to the opportunities that will flow with imagination to create an unstoppable force for change. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Still to come, Suva's landmark redeveloped and opened. And students from PIDF countries can now study in China. Details after the break.
Bula, neva ngomal kay leloma, ngongay nakas on dumakarong ng Bula FM, nambang dua yan na sere.
Hoya ubasit sai lambasa, ya on talita na warong ng Bula FM, nambang dua yan sere.
Gua da tumeli, ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang dua yan na sere.
Wana tunga ng Bula FM, nambang dua yan na sere nawaluan.
Na vengo fane na tao no singa toka, kita on talita ka ng Bula FM, nambang dua yan na sere.
Bula FM, nambang dua yan na sere.
The landmark Suva Civic Centre was officially opened today after undergoing 18 months of redevelopment. At a cost of $20 million, financed by the Chinese, the centre has been outfitted with a state-of-the-art visual and audio system, a multi-function room, a restaurant and completely renovated main auditorium. Maggie Boyle tells us more.
The 600-seat main auditorium completely redone with carpeting throughout to complement the new sound and visual system.
Today marks yet another historic moment in Fiji's civic history, in particular that of our capital city, Suva.
The partnership with the Guangdong Provincial Administration responsible for the complete overhaul of the 50-year-old landmark.
The new Suva Center will not only become a new landmark of Fiji, but also a platform for showing Fijian culture and traditional arts. It is a result of the close collaboration and cooperation between the local governments of China and Fiji.
With this opening and strengthening of the Fiji-Chinese relationship, another significant project was announced.
The MOU shall see Guangdong Province developing Valilepu Stadium and a sports ground for the people of Nasinu.
The Suva Civic Centre now open for business and expected to once again be the place for an event in the capital. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The Health Ministry's National Mense Immunisation Program has seen over 200,000 children aged between 1 to 19 years immunised in the Central, Western and Northern Divisions. The Mense immunisation also continues in the Eastern Division with 20,000 children. Health Minister Rosie Akbar has acknowledged all nurses, community health workers, health staff, village leaders, teachers and communities who have been part of the national program. Akbar says the teams also achieved mense immunisation in 31 primary schools and 7 secondary schools within Tailevu. Students from the Pacific Islands Development Forum member countries can now access scholarships to study in China. This comes after the signing of an agreement between the Forum and the Pacific China Friendship Association today. Sainiani Boiler reports.
The agreement will enable students to pursue their studies at any universities in China. Association patron Princess Salote Pilolebu says they're working to ensure the association reaches the grassroots level of all Pacific Islands.
By the hard work of our president of the association, Dr. Hiria Otino, he obtains scholarships from various universities in China and distributes it among the 13 member countries.
The Forum's Secretary General says the joint forces of the two young organizations will also accelerate the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals around the Pacific.
Is important for us is to have a network of national, local friendship associations in the different countries where we have members that can actually participate and link and be the platform for implementation in the different member countries.
The Pacific China Friendship Association consists of 13 countries in the Pacific and funds the development at the grassroots level of its member countries. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Social Democratic Liberal Party leader Sitiveni Rambuka has refused to comment on a viral video being shared on social media showing a commotion between party supporters at an event in Sacramento, California, USA. The viral video shows a brawl between party supporters that erupted during a fundraising event. When questioned by FBC News if Rambuka was aware of the brawl, he says he would not like to comment as it does not have anything to do with him. However, he did confirm that it was a fundraising event organized for the party by the supporters in Sacramento. FBC News has also been informed by one of the supporters present at the event that the brawl happened after the official event. The supporter also says the brawl was a personal feud between two women who attended the event, and the men only interfered when it escalated. Tui Lambasa Ratuchone Ngomate aims to bring together the larger Lambasa community. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports with the dispute over the title still ongoing, Ratuchone is not letting that get in his way.
Appointed and installed chief at a time different factions of his chiefly clan are fighting over the title, Ratuchone Ngomate is nonetheless ready to work with the Lambasa community at large.
Not looking into our own selves, but looking at other communities, other religious institutions that are in the
unity.
Yeah. We're not looking only at the Lambasa people. I know that people from other communities, business people, religious organizations, they also come here.
Ratuchone is the son of Ratuchoeli Ngomate, who held the title from 1997 to 2004. During his reign, he wants to see funerals conducted in only a day, similar to those done in the outer maritime islands.
We have to do this to help ourselves, help Labonwa and other people. Just because of the mortuary, we're having it 1 week, 3 weeks, whatever. This thing has to change. It's getting so expensive to hold funerals.
Tui Maduata Ratu William Katunibere says that Tui Lambasa has a responsibility to the people, the church and to the government.
One of the primary roles for the Vanua is to ensure that they live free and fairly.
The 57-year-old knows taking over the reins of chief of the Vanua of Lambasa won't be easy, but he is trusting his faith in God and the support of his family to take him through. Eleanor Turangaviu, FBC News.
In sports later with Jamie Vetokani nominated for National Rugby Championship Rising Star Award, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break, Fiji Revenue and Customs sets a benchmark for other Pacific Island countries. And in growing Fiji, new breakthrough for Nawiwi settlement. Stay with us.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singatoka. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In business tonight, the Fiji Revenue and Customs Service has been recognized for its continuous contribution in tax organizations, which has created a benchmark for other Pacific Islands. Revenue and Customs was recognized following a Pacific Islands Tax Administrators Association meeting in Nandi. Felipe Nakaso has more.
Discussions between the heads of tax administrations around the Pacific focused on increasing revenue mobilization, exchange of information and e-taxation.
Oh, I think it's recognition of their efforts in improving their ability to raise the revenues that they need for their citizens so that they can be provided the services that they want and they deserve, be that education, health and so on.
The meeting also gave member countries to share experiences on compliance improvement strategy and implementation and administration of reforms.
You have to understand, sometimes tax people, as I've said to FRCS, as I say to the people in the Ministry of Economy, you cannot simply view your jobs in a very narrow, focused manner. Because of the nature of the scope of your work.
The meeting, which ended last night, was facilitated by Australia and New Zealand. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
56 women will now be able to put their skills to good use after graduating with certificates in sewing, culinary and hydroponics today. It hasn't been an easy ride for these women, but they've managed to finish the 8 weeks training at the McCoy Women's Vocational Training Centre. Pranita Prakash reports.
The Vocational Centre has provided an avenue for women to become independent in life.
And a lot of times this is a challenge for people who have probably dropped out of school or who have had an early marriage or early motherhood and come from very humble beginnings, that they feel that they have lost everything. In fact, what we're trying to do here is to tell them that you haven't lost anything. You've got all the ability to become somebody.
The 56 women from different backgrounds will now be able to earn a living with what they love doing.
You're now equipped with a new qualification. Your journey ahead is about what you do with that education and experience you've gained. The world, of course, of work awaits you, and to continue to learn and improve yourselves.
This single mother of 5 whose husband left her 14 years ago says she plans to open up her own business.
I am now confident and prepared to utilize knowledge, skills, and right attitude to come out of poverty, life, and work towards sustainability.
More than 600 women have graduated from this centre since 2015. A number of them have also opened up their own businesses. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
And we now join Sinifa from HFC Bank with the latest from the trading world.
A quick look at the global markets. The US dollar came under pressure and the Chinese yuan held gains this morning after a new round of trade talks with Beijing, which reduced demand for US currency. The euro and pound stood firm ahead of a policy decision by the European Central Bank and the Bank of England scheduled later in the day. The Bank of England is expected to keep interest rates on hold, giving the economy time to digest increases in borrowing costs. The Australian economy added 44,000 jobs, beating the estimate of 15,000. Notably, full-time jobs increased by 33,700 following the addition of 19,300 jobs in July. Meanwhile, the jobless rate remained unchanged at 5.3% as expected. Australian consumer confidence has been hit hard by a combination of rising mortgage rates and political instability. That's all from HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
Thanks. And if we're taking a look at the currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. Our dollar showed strength against the Chinese yuan, the US dollar today also gaining against the Kina, the euro and the Japanese yen, but slipped slightly against our major trading partners, Australia and New Zealand. As for the commodities market, prices were up across the board, with the price of oil closing at $70 a barrel, gold closed at £1,205, and silver closed at $14.25 an ounce. And in Growing Fiji tonight, the Women's Club in Nauiwi settlement of Galemumumu village in Lambasa will now be able to bake more bread to cater for the community. The settlement, with 48 households, where most of the residents are cane farmers, requested for assistance for a bakery project in 2012. Construction on the $5,000 bakery, which completed in June, was funded by the government. A Women's Club member says there are three groups who bake, and they would make around 4 dozen bread daily.
Because most of the students, they travel daily to secondary schools. So it really helps us a lot, because when we're doing the baking, so most of the families, they've been bought bread to get them prepared for next day.
And that's business for tonight. Jamie joins you now with sports.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, pools drawn for Oceania Sevens.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
The Fiji men's sevens team has been drawn in a relatively easy pool for the 2018 Oceania Rugby Sevens Championship. The defending champions will face the Solomon Islands and Papua New Guinea in Pool A. Last year's runner-up New Zealand lead Pool B with New Caledonia and Nauru. Pool C sees Australia, Cook Islands and Vanuatu, while Samoa leads Pool D alongside Tonga, Tuvalu and debutant Niue. Meanwhile, the Fiji women's seven side has been pooled with last year's runner-up New Zealand, the Cook Islands and New Caledonia in Pool B. Defending champions Australia will go up against PNG, Samoa and Nauru in Pool A. Meanwhile, the Fiji Airways Sevens has taken on the underdogs tag as they defend this year's Oceania Sevens title. Coach Gareth Baber says Sevens rugby has evolved in the region and they can't afford to underestimate any team, even their pool opponents. Meli Tavanga reports.
The Fiji Sevens side will come in full force as they are wary of their regional opponents.
We know a bit about Papua New Guinea. Saw them on the series last year and obviously played here in Oceania. I know the type of rugby that they play. Fast, intense game. You know, they've got some good high skill level as well. So I know that's going to be tough. I know less about the Solomon Islands, I must admit, but I know that they'll have a physical edge to them.
Coach Beba is also aware of the threats that will be posed by runners-up New Zealand and Australia.
We as a team, I mean, you know, in terms of the values that we have as a culture, as a group of players, is we take nothing for granted, and we know that we've got to do everything we can possible to ensure that we play at the top of our levels all the time.
The Oceania Sevens is expected to be a thriller in the fact that we have Olympics, Commonwealth and World Cup gold medalists.
For the locals to see their Sevens heroes playing in an international tournament with some of the best teams running around in international sevens provides every Fijian with the opportunity to come along and see them and mix with them.
The first highest placed non-core team for the men's championship will qualify as the 16th team to the 2018-2019 World Sevens Series legs in Hamilton, also qualify as the 16th team in Sydney, and the 2020 Sevens Series qualify in Hong Kong next year. The second highest placed non-core team will only qualify for the 2020 qualify in Hong Kong. The Oceania Sevens Championship will be held from the 9th to the 10th of November at Suvos ANZ Stadium. Melita Vanga, FBC Sports.
Fijian rower fly half Alibere Tivei-Tokani has been nominated as the National Rugby Championship Rising Star for the second round of the NRC competition.
He's been consistent, but still need a lot of work with him, and then sometimes he's just carried away and he can do anything. But he has to remember there are 14 guys in the field, so he has to work within the system of our game pattern. So that's something very important, because he's got talent. He's got talent and he can run from any angle, but he has to be smart and read the game and then play his number when he's playing in the field.
Vodafone Fiji football coach Christophe Gamel believes there's not enough stability in the national team for it to compete at its best in international matches. Gamel, who suffered his fourth international loss this year, going down 2-0 to Singapore on Tuesday, says it's a serious concern and the team will only improve if everyone gives it their full support. Vasil Prasad reports.
Coach Gamel has made a call to the districts to get serious and support the national team.
The district to get really the boys in better shape physically.
On arriving back home after their 2-0 loss, Gamel said he will go against all the odds to get the best selected players in the camp early.
They will help me better in this way, also, otherwise I will fight against everyone to get all the points and that help to a team to be ready for this kind of game.
Defender Laisenia Raura reveals Singapore found their exposed weak points.
To work on our set pieces, the defensive corner kicks and defensive free kicks.
More international friendly matches have been lined up for the team, which are likely to happen later this year. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The police football team have started preparations for this year's Sukuna Bowl competition. 8 teams from all divisions are competing in the Kontiki Finance Fiji Police Inter-District Tournament, from which the best 22 players will be selected to represent the force. Meanwhile, in today's results, Southern 1 beat West 1 2-0, North thumped Southern 2-0, East defeated Headquarters 1-0, while PSRU edged West 2-1.
The one priority, which is our Sukuna Bowl preparation in terms of playing with our counterpart on the Sukuna Bowl day. So we are also doing a selection for the best 22-member squad in terms of the team which will be playing with our counterpart military on Sukuna Bowl day.
Chair umpire Carlos Ramos has spoken publicly for the first time since the controversial U.S. Open tennis women's final between Serena Williams and Naomi Osaka, insisting he is fine. While he's come under fire for handing 3 code violations, including a game penalty for verbal abuse to runner-up Williams during the match, his fellow umpires are considering taking action against Williams. In today's Play of the Day, Harbour hooker James Parsons has a story to tell the grandkids one day, the time he channeled to set up a try. The former All Black front rower showed all the skills of a back when he threw a wonderful behind-the-back pass during his side's Mitre 10 clash with Canterbury, sending Matt Duffy away for a try. That's it from Sports Tonight. Join Angie later on with weather and in new media. We take a look at the new Apple Watch Series 4. That's coming up.
Narang golesenya, Obama kita nakas, dorong bina kape on radio Fijuan, nandong may
ayaw benyana, kita barong on radio Fijuan, nandong may wisi, hinatoka.
Guado ilaisa hinatoka, rong bina na heramakawa ina radio Fijuan hinatoka.
Radio Fijuan, nandong may viti.
It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's been an unsettled weather scenario throughout the nation. On and off showers with cool breezes are currently the situation for now. Now the question is, where are all these showers coming from? Taking a look in the west, it was not so elegant as showers kept interrupting. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, quite overcast and cool. And up north, slightly sunny on this side and with showers in store. At sea, southeast winds gusting to 25 knots, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, low tide at 9:26 p.m. with high tide at 3:43 a.m. Sunrise at 6:03. For tomorrow, it's Friday, and for some time, let's just forget about the sunshine. We can imagine though. Tomorrow's temps, all centers will be cool in the high 20s. And looking further on to Saturday, showers, and more showers are in the bag for the nation. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji on Pulse tonight, we asked, should parents encourage their children to study vernacular languages in schools?
Of course, yes. Of course, yes, because Fiji is a multiracial country. And then it would be better for everyone to know each other's language, and it will be easy for them to communicate with each other.
Yes, because of their, their culture, the future culture.
Yeah, I agree with that concept because it will be able to identify where do they come from and where their real identity, so they could speak their own vernacular.
I think this is a good idea so that they don't forget our mother tongue.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, Education Minister raises serious concern on school curriculum. LTA investigates alleged bribe cases, and Sudelpa still has room for Moses Mbulitavu. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, are we doing enough to conserve water during this prolonged dry spell? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day sent in by Sereana Semo, a Pacific Island Air single otter at Nanuya Island Resort. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबोलुम्बुआ से। जैसे फ्रेंडी नॉर्थ मशहूर है, वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है, वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।